Hey, 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 welcome into another episode of the Seahawkers Show Victory Edition. Over Santa Clara, the 49ers, our rivals from down south. Seattle gets the job done and improves to 6-1. And most would argue they should have been 7-0 if DK Metcalf's touchdown against Arizona wasn't called back on a bogus holding. But it was 50-50. We already went over that. But first, I want to get to, please, the like and subscribe to this page or to my YouTube channel, and also support and share with other Seahawk fans if you enjoy this. If I do the right job, just keep comments coming. I like the criticism either way, good or bad. With that being said, Hawk fans, look, this was a huge win. I mean, we're 6-1. We're out the gates really good. Got a big victory against the Niners. And then, because if the Niners would have won, they're sitting there a half game back of us, and we were all predicting the Rams to beat the Dolphins. Dolphins gifted us a victory over the Rams, put them back another game of us. Cardinals were idle. They play next week. So, if we beat the Niners, we put them at 4-4, and they're 3 games behind us. And you know what? We dealt them an even bigger blow, and not intentional. But Jimmy G, with his fragile ankle, is now out indefinitely, will likely miss the rest of the season, and the Niners are down to Beathard and Nick Mullins for the rest of the season. Then you top that off with didn't have Deebo Samuel for this game. Sorry, I'm just excited. And they lost Kittle. Today they lost Kittle, and he's likely done for the year. He fractured his knee, or not his knee, his tibia in his leg. So that's pretty much it for him. I mean, it's an 8-week absence, and they only got 8 weeks left. I don't see the 49ers making the playoffs. I think we dealt them a death blow in many ways in this game. I mean, I'm going to get to the highlights. I'm going to show you what happens and everything, the keys to the game. Look, in the preview for a couple days ago, the keys to this game was to control the tight end, don't let Kittle tear you apart, watch those gimmicky offensive plays. And the Niner fans, I'm sure you heard them. I'm sure you have Niner friends. We're telling you, and on these other Facebook pages and Instagram pages, hey, the Niners are going to blow out the Seahawks. We own them, blah, blah, blah. But you have to throw in the Super Bowl hangover. The Super Bowl hangover gets every team not named the New England Patriots. And, what happened? It's gotten the Niners. They're snake-bitten. Got a lot of injuries this year, and the quarterback play is never fantastic. And one of the keys to the game, again, that I went over earlier in the week was, if the Seahawks get pressure somehow on Garoppolo, we're going to show you how bad he is. We're going to show you how that he's mediocre, just like Jared Goff from the Rams. Very mediocre. The scariest other quarterback in our division is Kyler Murray, and we saw that. He's a scary dude, but Goff is a statue in the pocket, and so is Garoppolo. Garoppolo is even more of a statue, and if you get pressure on him, watch out. If you don't fall for those gimmicky plays that the Niners run, watch out. And you could, and especially if you grab a lead like the Seahawks did, then you can go in cruise control. But I'll get to what bothered me, because there was something I didn't like in this game in the second half, and I'm sure you guys know where I'm going with that. So with all that being said, let's get to some fun times over the Seahawks win over the 49ers of Santa Clara. Let's check it out here. There it is, Week 8 highlights, and here we go. We're going to pick up here in the second quarter, or first quarter here, late after a couple drives stalled for Seattle. And if you were like me, I was not liking the way Seattle came out offensively in the first 2 drives. DJ Dallas really not touching the football. Travis Homer was used sparingly, mostly for blocking. They came out throwing the football, but really short passes and really wasn't getting nothing. Russell Wilson took a sack or 2, and it was just 2 3-and-outs. And here's the Niners' second possession. Seattle stuffed them pretty good, but the second possession right here.
Injury, that high ankle sprain, and he struggled throwing the deeper balls.
It's Coleman, sheds a tackle. Tevin Coleman with a first down, going out of bounds. Hasty again, gets some blocks, ball's out. Seahawks towards the sideline, and did they get it before it went out? Was ruled a fumble, overturned, and 49ers keep the ball.
Yeah, well, anytime you go out of bounds and you touch the ball while you're out of bounds, it's a dead ball.
Yeah, his thigh touched the out-of-boundary mark as he was trying to swipe the ball back inside the play. So that's where the turnover was negated. It would have been Seattle football right there. And I was like, damn it, dude. The Niners got a break. But then Garoppolo's like, hey, I know it's not Christmas, but I'm bearing gifts.
Garoppolo, well protected. And intercepted at the 12. It's a Seahawk takeaway and down to the 14. Interception thrown.
Now, Reed right there came off the practice squad by the Niners. Niners actually cut him or put him on waivers. Seattle picked him up and then using him over Ugo Amadi, who's out on injury. There's a couple other corners. Obviously, Shaquem Griffin wasn't playing this game. And that's the other thing. I don't want to hear any freaking excuses by any Niner fans, which I heard 1,000 of them this morning about, oh, we have injuries. So do the Seahawks, man. Missing half their secondary, didn't have Jamal Adams. A lot of guys up front. Come on, dude. I don't want to hear no. And then we're down to our fourth string running back, dude. Really? You're going to talk crap about that when most of your guys are in there? I mean, look, the Niners have been snake bitten sometimes at some points of this season, but they have been getting steadily their guys healthy up until this game when they lost two big players. But I don't want to hear no excuses. There was no. The Seahawks beat them fair and square. So here's after the interception by Reed. Obviously, Garoppolo was not paying attention where he was throwing. I thought the Seahawks did a good job of getting this drive going because I was like, dude, we can't just keep punting back to him either way. And the Seahawks defense, which was called out by so many people in the media, actually showed up and played good. I predicted a 31-28 victory for the Seahawks. They gave up, it was pretty close. Seattle won 37-27, but the defense, I felt, played a lot better than the final score showed, but we'll get to that in a minute. But here's the Seahawks getting going on offense.
5 out of 7 Wilson. Tyler Lockett does not have a catch so far. On third down, dumps it off. That's Nick Bellore. And looks like he's got enough to the...
Another practice squad guy who fullback came in, Nick Bellore. He came in and made a huge hit later on that we'll highlight that caused a fumble. And then he made a couple of receptions in this game and did pretty good blocking too. So, I mean, it's sort of like what Pete Carroll's always said, even at USC, next man up. I love that term. And if you're busting your ass in freaking, what is it called? In practice during the week, you can move ahead of somebody. It's not, unless you're Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Chris Carson type of dude, guys can get ahead of you. You know what I mean? And they'll start over you if they've had a great week at practice. And I love Pete Carroll's system.
25.
He put his shoulder in there.
Russell on the move. Pass complete at the 36. Tackle made right away.
It's funny, Lockett had a huge game last week, and he was almost unheard of in this game with a couple of receptions. It was the DK Metcalf show.
David Moore from his receiver spot across midfield.
And by the way, he had a couple of those, David Moore, in this game, and I'll get to the stats later on. But I'm telling you, David Moore, every time he runs that sweep, the motion sweep, he usually gets about 10 to 15 yards. So that was great to see again.
A crisp looking drive here. And open inside the 35. Metcalf.
Look at that speed.
All the way inside the 20. DK Metcalf. And that's going to be a Seahawk touchdown. Wow.
Yeah, DK Metcalf. I mean, he made a simple slant pattern into a 40-some-odd yard touchdown because of his speed and agility not to go out of bounds. I mean, that is straight just – I mean, some people on the radio this morning were saying that, this guy's like a cyborg. He's like a superhuman-type player. I think 29 other football teams missed the boat on this dude because – they were freaked out about possible neck injury that he had in Ole Miss and whatnot, and they were looking at a better receiver supposedly on the other side at Ole Miss. They didn't give DK Metcalf his due. They thought he was too big, and Pete Carroll, he loves these type of receivers. We've seen in the past when he went after Mike Williams, who was on his USC team when a lot of guys gave up on him. He did pretty good for a season in Seattle. He likes big receivers, and they don't get much bigger than DK. The only difference is DK is superhuman fast. And he proved it, and he torched the Niners. I mean, there was plays left out on the field, throws that Wilson could have made that could have really put this game out of reach even more than it was at some point in this game. And DK could have had like 200 and some odd yards if he wanted to. I mean, I'm like I told you in the last video, Niners secondary is very overrated. Plug in Sherman if all you want, but if they don't have Bosa up front, rushing the quarterback with the other guy that they got injured, and I don't even care his name or whatever, but they have a good pass rush, and that's what makes their secondary better than advertised. But if you take away that that advantage of the great pass rush, we saw how mediocre their defense was. I mean, Seattle could have scored 40 or 50 if they wanted to in this game. Now here come the Niners. Gimmicky plays, the play action.
And open. Kyle Juszczyk for the first down going out of bounds.
And you notice for all that crap talk, too, that they talked about Kittle tearing us apart, he really didn't do much in this game at all.
Operating, the receivers getting involved in blocking.
3rd and 7. Nice grab. Knocked back. That's the rookie, Ayuk, Brandon Ayuk, who from
Ayuk is good. I'll give him that. Ayuk is good.
Second round.
I do. I mean, I like this. It would be a fairly long field goal. They're running the ball well.
And they're getting it with Hasty. Offensive line opened up enough for him. They need 9. McKinnon is in. Garoppolo. Catch made and run out of bounds right.
Now, see, if you're letting him stand back there, he will do the Tom Brady type thing, and he'll tear you apart. And look, Tom Brady's the same thing. They don't get much more of a statue than Tom Brady. But if you give him a great, offensive line and pass protection, I mean, any quarterback for the most part, most quarterbacks in the NFL, can sit back there and tear you apart. You got to put hands on this dude. You put hands on this dude, hands in his face. You make him feel the heat. You collapse that pocket more and more. I'm telling you, he makes errant passes. He's done it many a times. And, well, he won't do it the rest of this year because he's done again. But the fact is, this is what the Niners do. And if they're given time, they could torch you. So on this drive, they look good.
Here, the first down marker is Kendrick Bourne.
Let him run the ball in.
Michael Hasty meets a wall as he gets to the goal line.
Kind of almost a flip play and give it to him on the inside handoff.
Instead, the rookie. And Hasty is in for a touchdown. It was only 5'8", so it took a while, but eventually he squirmed through.
So because of the missed extra point, first miss by Myers, it was a 1-point game at this time. Seahawks had the lead, or would have had the lead, or would have been tied at this. I'm sorry, it would have been 7-7, but they missed the extra point. So Seattle's next drive, I thought was crucial to get the momentum back, and they did a great job. We'll see what happens right here.
When to get down. He's got that through. Understands when to get down. He's got that baseball player mentality. Slide when I have to.
Big hole in the middle of the field to run. Instead, he throws and completes at the 48.
That's actually good coverage right there by the Niners, but that was just a dart. And that's because, and also, Metcalf comes back to the football, has a great feel for when to come back and when to throw his body backwards to keep the defender off of him. So, I mean, the defender's got to not only try to keep up with Metcalf, but when Metcalf is trying to come back for the ball, he's got to try to get around him to swat the ball. No chance. I mean, Metcalf is just he knows how to put his body in position. So there's nothing more dangerous than the raw talent that this dude has.
Metcalf coming back to the football. Blitz on a delay. Floating one down the sideline for Metcalf, who has it.
Metcalf on the edge in a one-on-one situation up top here.
Wilson has it for the end zone, and there's a flag, but DK Metcalf has the football and has a Seahawk touchdown, his second today.
And see what all that was right there is DK Metcalf creating separation, blown by the corner on the fade route, getting the ball out of bounds, getting it inside the red zone. Just a beautiful lob pass by freaking Wilson. Then you have it inside the red zone, 3 yards out. Wilson goes back, throws a dart to him with a defender in his face. The defender actually commits pass interference because DK puts his body and uses his strength to get in front of the defender. The defender's just trying to swat at him, and the ball gets there early, and he still holds on for the touchdown. Dude is a freaking beast, dude. If you do not have a 14 jersey, get one. Metcalf is going to be around for a long time, and I guarantee you Schneider's going to lock him up, dude. That guy is amazing. So here we go. We're at 13-7. Seahawks. Niners get the ball. I want you to see this play right here. Again, the Niners go gimmicky on offense, and then watch what happens.
Remember, no Deebo Samuel.
Look right here. Now, he's rolling out. They kind of look at Kittle at first. Seattle does not fall for it. They're kind of watching right here. And this is another key that I picked up on that I figured the Seahawks would have to do in the preview for this episode earlier in last week. The fact is, don't fall for their gimmicky screens. And they like to run them with Kittle, and they like to have two options. So if Kittle is down here and the defense goes up here and follows the offensive line, then Kittle will be open one-on-one. He'll have a blocker in front of him, and if he gets past the defender that's guarding him, watch out, right? So the Seahawks stay home on him. Now, here's the key. You have a lot of white jerseys up here, but watch Poona Ford. Poona Ford, this is his one play of the game, but watch how he has already he has his brakes on. He knows that Garoppolo has a good chance to throw him back over here. And, dude, this was a hell of a play by Poona Ford. He stays home, stays in the backfield, and blows the play up.
Inactive. It's a throwback.
Look at that.
And Trent Taylor got smothered.
Chance to rush the passer right here.
Now, after you knock them back for a 3 or 4 yard loss, that was the key. Don't give the Niners second and short, second and 3, bull crap like that. Force them into a 3rd and long. Look what happens when you force a team into 3rd and long, when you're actually stopping the ball, not giving up stupid zone coverage, easy 6 to 7 yard passes. Seattle's defense and all the heat that Ken Norton got, and I gave him some too, not on this show, but on social media, Ken Norton's defense had a great plan for 3.5 quarters. So right here, the Niners think, okay, you know, they're only rushing 4 guys right here, but watch Bobby Wags come right through.
Exciting. On 3rd and 3, Garoppolo is sacked.
Woo, he took a hit. I'm telling you, as bad as this defense has been all year, I've been telling people, you know, they're like, oh, your defense is historically bad. I'd rather be a team 5-1, 6-1 with a bad defense than a 1-5, 2-6 team with a really good defense. So that should tell you something. I don't like how it's stacked up so far, but we're winning. So you got to take the good with the bad and hope that the bad improves as we go along. I felt this is a stepping stone for it to get better. Now, next week's game is going to be a huge test, just like this one was. But watch what happens, though. Seahawks defense continues to go at it.
They're really missing that.
Watch right here again. Seattle has a 4-man up front, 3 linebackers. The Niners really don't know who's going to come in right here. And actually, it's the cornerback from down here, Reed, who is supposed to be on Ayuk. The safety comes up, which I think is Diggs, and he's going to cover Ayuk one-on-one, and then you're going to have just 2 guys get a free shot at Garoppolo.
Right now.
Manageable on 3rd and 4. Garoppolo is sacked. Spun out of 1 tackle, but then fell down. But Bobby Wags created the problems. Record, they've won 59 out of 60 games.
That's incredible.
And so is Russell Wilson with room to run all the way down to around the 40.
That was huge right there, and I felt Seattle really turned the tide there too, because getting 2 sacks on Garoppolo on that previous drive, getting the ball back 13-7, 3rd quarter. You know, the Niners didn't strike back like they thought they would, so here comes Seattle.
That's the offensive coordinator, but at any time, Wilson can run. DJ Dallas slips
Look at that.
Tackle. It's down around the 1st down.
Out there.
DJ Dallas didn't run for 100 yards. No Seahawk running back has run for 100 yards this year. But I'll tell you one thing, though. He looked confident the more and more he got the ball. He looked more and more patient before he hit the hole. And I thought that he did a really good job in the second half. He gave the Seahawks exactly what they needed, and I'll go over his stats in a minute, too.
One-on-one situation.
On a 3rd down, Wilson's throw.
That's all day, every day. So easy right there for Metcalf.
Hit, but held on to.
Then watch this play right here. Fake to. I didn't like this right here because I got scared for a second. I thought he was going to get a concussion. The Niners put a really good hit on Wilson.
Wilson looked like he wanted to take it himself, and he will.
But Wilson would say, take this and shove it.
And Russell Wilson throws, catch made, touchdown.
First
Seahawks,
career touchdown.
DJ Dallas, he didn't mess up.
So here's a key play. Remember I told you about the fullback who came off the practice squad and made a couple plays? Well, he makes a hit here on Pettis right here. And Pettis wishes that he played baseball like his father after this play because, dude, Pettis takes a shot, fumbles the ball, and this, to me, should have put the game away. Well, after this touchdown.
Wilson throws, catch
I'll just show you the touchdown. I pressed the wrong button again.
Seahawks, the rookie, DJ Dallas. He didn't mess up.
Okay, this should have put the game away.
On the kickoff return. Hit hard as he got across the 21-yard line. Looked like they're pointing as if maybe the ball came out. The officials are digging in the pile. Ruling is Pete Carroll's football.
Now here comes Seattle with the ball again. Now they're on the 21-yard line. You're up 20-7. The Niners are trying to hold them to a field goal to keep it a 2-score game, but Seattle thinks more. They're going for the jugular, which, again, if you watched any Seahawk game this year and most of last year, the Seahawks do not know how to keep the foot on the gas pedal. They do not know how to put the foot, choke the other team out. They always leave room to come back.
21-yard line of the 49ers. Wilson dumps it off. And Metcalf slips a tackle. He's tough to tackle.
Yeah, he is.
Wilson evades the rush, throws for the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. It's David Moore.
That was just too easy right there because David Moore, Wilson was actually going down. And Moore comes back to him, finds a little hole in the zone, and scores a touchdown. So at that point, you're up 27-7. Game should be over. 4:32 left in the third quarter. Here come the Niners again. Garoppolo, this is probably the last play you're going to see him this year. Sorry, Santa Clara fans. And I'm not advocating for injuries. I never like how a team either win or loses with an injury. But unfortunately, injuries are part of the game. And I think the Seahawks won this game, and devastated the Niners season. And I don't like the way it went out. I wish, Garoppolo was more – because I'd like to beat a team at full strength. I think we did in this game with them at supposed full strength or as full strength as they possibly can. I think we had more injury woes than they did. We were playing a lot more unproven players than they did. But, we took advantage when we had to, and then here's where Garoppolo pretty much ended his season.
Garoppolo stopped short of the 30-yard line. Alton Robinson, the rookie from Syracuse.
Alton Robinson, by the way, was suspended today for PEDs. That's six games, I believe. So if I'm right on that, he gets a 6-game suspension. So that kind of sucks. So that's probably not even though he's a rookie, they don't suspend you 6 games for your first violation. So that means he's probably tested dirty a couple times already. And the third time now is a 6-game suspension. So we'll see him come playoffs. And it would have been nice to have him in the lineup with Carlos Dunlap, who we acquired from the Cincinnati Bengals, who will be eligible next week in Buffalo. So, and another good news, Jamal Adams will be back for Buffalo. So but you saw what Reed could do. Reed was in on that play too, blitzing from the corner. Seattle blitzed 50% of the time last week, this Sunday. So that was pretty nice to see. Again, reverse.
Has a first down and knocked out of bounds.
Again, David Moore with a 15-yard run.
Like something from the Matrix right there, throwing that to Moore.
And he's throwing again with a big lead, completing to Metcalf again for a first down at the 47 of the 49ers. Blitz is picked up, and the pass is caught for a first down. It's Metcalf again.
And,
So it's Metcalf, and the Seahawks are moving the football. We're now into the fourth quarter. Seattle's still up 20 points. I'm like, damn, they are actually going for the jugular. They're trying to put this thing away.
They're just racing to the quarterback.
Wilson with time. One of those rainbow throws for the end zone and knocked away at the last moment by Emmanuel Mosley. An excellent defensive play.
Wherewithal to see the ball and swat it away.
And Jason Myers from 48 yards away.
Okay. Now let me stop right here. So Myers hits the field goal. They made a nice play to force Myers to hit the field goal because Metcalf, that was the one play where I felt he should have used his body more, went up for it, maybe slowed down a minute, try to get some more contact. Instead, he was trying to catch it in stride, and the defender just made a great play, okay? Great play. Whatever. You can't be perfect on every play. He had enough receptions in that game. I'm cool with that. Seattle kicks a field goal. You're up 30-7. Now, every week this year, I have been clenching my butt cheeks trying to hold on to a victory and trying to not lose because I'm knowing the Seahawks defense is going to give up some points. But this is the first time all year that I sat back and was like, we got this. Game over. 30-7. No way. And my friend that was watching with me was like, well, if they get a touchdown and go for two, it's 30-15. You're within 2 scores. Or even if they just get a touchdown, you're still within 2 scores. I'm like, nah, it's not going to happen. The way the Seahawks are playing today, they want this. This is the LOB defense now. They're trying to reach back from the past, blast from the past. And Wagner's got these guys, and they're not going to give nothing up. Nick Mullins is in the game. It's over, right? Wrong.
Really, on a 3rd and 5 now, the floater, Kittle hangs on. 2 Seahawks all over him.
And now see that little, I don't know what that is. I don't know. I don't want to know why he does that. I just think that's the stupidest little sign for a first down. He can have that all he wants because he bragged on that specific play. And again, I'm not advocating for injuries. I'm not celebrating any injuries. I'm just saying that because of the injuries that these two guys have now in key positions for the 49ers have gotten, their season's over. And Seattle had a hand in putting them out, which is great for me because the loss puts them 3 games back, and then these injuries puts them even further. But that little taunt right there, which he does after every first down or every catch, he literally didn't make it to the sideline. And that's the only reason why I'm laughing, because if you're going to brag and act in, all in foolishness, at that particular time, the hit that he took fractured his tibia. So he's walking to the huddle, and then he starts limping to the bench, and then that was it. He limped to the locker room, and his season's over. I just wanted to show you Kittle's last catch for 2020.
Raping it, just kneel down.
So right here, we're going to fast forward again. And I'm not going to show you any of the BS Niners crap because I know you don't want to see it. But the fact of the matter is they scored a couple touchdowns really, really quick. And on top of that, had the receiver not been touched down at the 1-yard line by the cornerback Reed, it would have made it 30-22 and more pressure on the Seahawks offense to hold the lead instead of the defense, because the defense just garbage. I mean, dude, I don't know what they did differently because they were still trying to blitz, and they just didn't look like the same scheme that they had been playing all game. And Mullins, to his credit, as a bad quarterback as he is, he lit them up. So some people said it was prevent. I didn't see the prevent. I didn't even see zone. I don't know what they were playing that last quarter. But anyway, we fast forward, 3:36 to go. The 2-point conversion was wiped off. You're up 10 points. I'm still not feeling good because, again, the Niners had timeouts, but Seattle put together a really nice drive, started running the clock out, but left 3 minutes on the clock, and then DJ Dallas got his first career rushing touchdown.
Until it's 3rd down, or you want to try to score right away. And the rookie, DJ Dallas, runs it in for a touchdown. Rushing off 49er.
So there's your final, 37-27. And so at that point, Dallas scored a touchdown. DJ Dallas, not the Cowboys, because they can't score touchdowns. Seattle scored and went up 37-20. I'm still thinking, okay, 17-point win. I love it. But no, we gave up another touchdown, 21 in the 4th quarter to a garbage quarterback. And let's get to some of these stats real quick. Let's look at the Niners first. Jimmy Garoppolo in his final game of 2020, 11 of 16, 84 yards. Ooh, Santa Clara fans, he's your man. Now I'm hearing that it's actually going to cost them less to cut him this year, and it's going to save him a bunch of money. So that's going to be the drama in Santa Clara land next year. Do they keep Garoppolo? Do they feel he's the future? They felt he was the future this year. They felt he was the man this year, and they passed up on Tom Brady when they could have had Tom Brady. Just remember that, Niner fans. So Jimmy Garoppolo, 11 of 16, 84 yards, a robust interception, sacked 3 times. How sweet was that? Nick Mullins comes in for the Niners, and he goes 18 of 25, 238 in the 4th quarter, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and a QBR of 97 and a quarterback rating of 128.4, nearly perfect. Freaking Jimmy Garoppolo's QBR for ESPN was 14.5. His quarterback rating was a low 55.2. So, oh my gosh, dude. Really, dude, you're going to let Nick Mullins tear you up. And now They go into a short week against the Green Bay Packers, who are mad after a home loss. Can the Packers get back? Because they were already mad at the Niners anyway for destroying them the last few years that they played each other. It's been a one-sided affair between the two teams. So we'll see what happens. Hasty was their leading rusher. And again, they talked a lot of crap about how they were going to run it down our throats. They talked a lot of crap how they were going to throw it on us. They threw it on us in the fourth quarter. But for the most part, Ken Norton did a great job for 3.5 quarters. Hasty rushed 12 times for 29 yards. Coleman had 3 for 20. Garoppolo 4 for 4. And McKinnon 3-1. He had a touchdown. Hasty had a touchdown running as well. Brandon Ayuk 8 for 91. Most of that was in garbage time. Bourne 8 for 81. No touchdowns. Most of that was in garbage time. Kittle had 2 catches, 39. Final one of the year for him as well as he bows out again with another injury. Let's go over the Seahawks right here. Russell Wilson, very pedestrian, 27 for 37, 261, 4 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked twice. Quarterback rating, QBR of 88.6, pretty high, and a regular quarterback rating of 28.3. DJ Dallas gave a very serviceable 18 carries on 41 yards. Yes, it was only 2.3 yards a carry and a touchdown, but it was something to give the Niners another look at because he did get some positive yards in the second and third quarter, so they had to honor the run, which means the play action was open, and Metcalf destroyed him with that. Dave Moore, again, 2 carries, 28 yards on that sweep. He had 14 yards per on that one. Wilson rushed 6 times for 23 yards. Receiving, what can I say? Look, our boy Lockett had over 200 yards the previous game. In this game, it was the DK Metcalf show. 12 catches, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns, targeted 15 times. You get 12 out of 15. That's hella good. After Lockett's great game against Arizona, he had 4 for 33, so you could see who the Niners zeroed in on, and they got burnt either way. And it's sort of awesome that you could zero in on one of our receivers and the other one just kicks your ass. So that's the beauty, and then also the fact that you have just a great quarterback throwing the football. Tight ends really didn't make a difference like I predicted, so that's one of the things I was wrong in. I thought the tight ends would show up more. We didn't see anything from Olsen, no catches. He was targeted 4 times, by the way. Most of that was early on. Jacob Hollister only caught 1 catch for 6 yards. Will Dissly had 1 for 17, so that just tells you right there. And let's see what else. Bobby Wagner, 11 total tackles, 6 solo, 2 sacks, 3 for losses, and 4 quarterback hits. He was the only one that was just putting the hits on Garoppolo besides Robinson and Moore defensively. So, look. This was a overall very, very good win for the Seahawks. It's a huge win. Obviously, 6-1. You stay ahead of the Rams, who falter now to 5-3, which you're up 2 games on them. We play them in a couple of weeks coming up here, and then because we go through our gauntlet right now of tough teams before we get to, in my opinion, 4 patsies later in the season, which will be the Jets, Giants, not in that particular order. Jets, Giants at home. And then we have Washington on the road and Philadelphia. So I'm pretty sure we're going to sweep those 4 if all things stay the same with the injuries situation and stuff like that, and we continue to get better. As for next week, I'm going to be previewing the episode on the Buffalo Bills, which are the AFC East leaders, which is hard to say because they haven't led the AFC East since 1995. So the Seahawks made some big strides by winning this week. They're 6-1. They're going to go into 6-2 Buffalo. That one's going to be a tough matchup because they have a really good quarterback. If you haven't seen him, I'd check him out. The run game's pretty stout, and their defense is even better. So Seattle's got their hands full next week, but I'm sure Carroll's going to have them up to the challenge. But again, this was a huge win over the Niners, and getting this victory now assures the fact that we're sole possession of first place in the NFC West. And let's keep it rolling. We're almost to the midpoint, which is next week. And I'm just saddened again, and I'll say it every week until they let some fans in, or hopefully if they get a hold of this thing by playoff time, we can have over 50% capacity at the Clink, because it's just getting depressing the fake crowd noise, and we're just not having that 12th man. And I know you guys, if you could, you'd be there, and I would as well. And I know a lot of these fans that are season ticket holders, they're just dying every week that they can't see their Seahawks play live. So let's keep it going, Seahawks, and stay safe out there. Hope you enjoy the video once again, and tell a friend, share with a Seahawk page or whatever. Go Hawks! We beat them freaking Niners, and they look to be in a bad spot. So if you get a chance, rub it in with a fellow 49er friend or family member, because you can't get rid of them, man. They're like cockroaches. So go Hawks, everybody! Go Hawks!